Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Thursday. I am going to get my friend Jessica on here. And she is going to come chat with us today about her journey with PCOS and also just how she's handled stress and anxiety as a mom. Because let's be honest, being a mom's hard. And there's a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety around it. And there we go. So we'll see how fast Facebook wants to be. There she is.
Hey, sorry, my phone was about to die.
Oh no, don't want that.
Yeah.
All right. So I was telling my audience that you were going to come on today and just really share your journey with PCOS, because I feel like that is something that is really affecting a ton of women these days, and something that there's a lot of research behind things, but nobody talks about that. They just talk about the medications you can use.
Yeah.
And I know you're a researcher and you have looked, you have really, the stuff that you put on Instagram is very educational, and I really think it's so helpful for so many people. So just tell us about your journey.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, Michelle. So I was diagnosed with PCOS when I was like 21. And I'll be 31 this year. So that was like 10 years ago. And before that, to kind of go back, when I was 12, I actually was diagnosed with Graves' disease. So I don't have a thyroid. They killed it when I was 12. So that kind of started we'd say autoimmune problems, because PCOS and all of that, people call them autoimmune. It's basically your hormones aren't working correctly. So when I was 21, I went on birth control, didn't like it, felt like crap. And I literally just spent years just feeling like crap. Like, if I'm to put it that way, I just felt like crap. I never had a normal cycle. It'd come and go. It'd be heavy. I would never be able to gain weight. I'd be tired, didn't understand why I was tired. Like, I did this most of my 20s, I would say. And even like after I got married, continued to just struggle. It took me 4 years to get pregnant with my daughter. I didn't fully understand how it affected kind of everything. But I knew deep down inside, I am a person who's willing to try things and willing to experiment. And I believe that's key in any health journey, is just being willing to take a risk. And so to kind of back it up, I was introduced to essential oils, and I started there, and I switched out the chemicals in my home, and that helped a little bit.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they mess with the endocrine disruptor. I did therapy and worked on my emotional health. That helped a little bit. I spent thousands in genetic testing, I'll be honest.
Really?
And took tons of supplements that they recommended. I was probably at one time on 10 or 15 different supplements, because I was just looking for something to help me. And
Yeah.
did I feel better? Yes, I would have moments of feeling better, because it would help for a little while. And through that whole kind of thing, what led me to where I'm at today is I did become pregnant. I'm actually pregnant now too, but my first pregnancy was in 2019. I had my daughter in April of 2020. So, and I did become pregnant naturally. And a lot of people ask what I did then. And I was like, I switched out the chemicals. I started working on my mental health, which is emotional health, and I started taking some supplements. I believe that helped. But if you fast forward to where I am now, which is, it's a very different feeling. Like, yes, I felt good. Yes, I was giving my body nutrients that it needed. But the way that I feel now is way different than then. Like, it was like, because you go from like surviving, like you're in survival mode, to like, oh, I'm not as much in survival mode anymore, so I feel good. And you start believing that you're feeling good because you've got something that's helping you. And then you take something else and you're like, oh, I didn't even know I could feel so much better. Like,
I
I
think
didn't
there's
know
so
I
many
could feel this
people
good.
I think there's so many people who think that exactly, who think that they're okay with where they are and they don't realize how much better it can be or how much brain fog they do have until it's gone.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, in my body, like I was like, oh, I got pregnant. And after I had my daughter, like you're in that mom mode. And I didn't really struggle with postpartum depression then. Like I just was kind of like survival. But like since I had felt like crap before, it was better than feeling like I had felt before.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and sometimes for women with PCOS, their hormones actually feel better when they're pregnant and after having a baby. And so we
Okay.
can react differently just because we're so used to feeling like crap.
I didn't know
So
that.
I felt pretty good until I went to wean my daughter.
I
And
have heard
that's
that
when
can really mess with people.
it messed with me. And I literally was like, I don't want to be present. I don't want to hang out with her. I don't feel like myself. I don't have energy. I want to sit on this couch and do nothing. I don't want to go see my friends. I just want to sleep. I don't have energy. Like, and they say that it can kind of go backwards. So that's what started me on Amari, is because I was like, my friend was posting about Edge, and I was like, if this is gonna help me feel like a better mom, because I want to play with my 2-year-old, I don't want to sit here, or my 18-month-old, I don't want to sit here and watch her. I want to be in her life. Um, if you kind of look at my story, one of the things that people used to call me was lazy growing up because I just was tired all the time, and they didn't understand. And I knew that I didn't want to be that lazy mom. I wanted to be a present mom for my kids, and I wanted to give them everything that I could. And so that's what started me on Edge. And then I saw so many other amazing results. Like um a lot of women who have PCOS, it's a metabolic disorder. So you struggle with insulin resistance, you struggle with inability to lose weight, you struggle with inflammation, you struggle with brain fog, fatigue. Some women can struggle with thyroid issues. It's all connected. And being on Edge, just Edge, for a month and a half, I lost 10 pounds. And I
Wow.
had so much more energy. And like my sugars, like, I mean, I went and just did my gestational diabetes test and like, oh, your sugars are great. Oh, your pregnancy is going great. And I'm like, yeah, I feel great. Like, because I'm giving my microbiome what it needs to communicate. And so that's what I realized. Like, I had done all these other things. I had spent thousands of dollars for years doing genetic testing, doing, getting rid of the chemicals in my home. And yeah, those are great things and they help. They'll help you. But this is a lot cheaper. I can tell you that. A lot cheaper than the amount of money that I spent on blood work and genetic testing and doctor's visits and everything. And it addresses that communication problem, that root problem. And so that's where I'm like, this makes sense. Like my whole story, like I mean, I believe I had to go through that process to be here. But
Absolutely.
now I'm trying to tell people, don't do it the way I did it backwards. Don't do it that
Learn
way.
from my mistakes.
Don't spend tons of money like I did.
So
Like,
how would you, since you're pregnant now, how would you say the pregnancy, even just you know, I don't want to say conceiving, but like trying to get pregnant, this pregnancy, how has it been different?
oh, it's been completely different. I mean, so this is kind of funny. I got pregnant right after I had COVID. Like, and I was surprised that I got pregnant. And I got pregnant 18 months after my daughter, which surprised me too. And like, I had a little bit of fatigue in the beginning because I just think, I mean, you just are tired. Your body's changing.
Your
I
body's growing another human.
Yeah. And I still have moments during the day where I'm like, oh, I have to take a break. My ability to cognitively function, to be present, my ability to um, physically do things is way different than my daughter. I mean, I would work, and you're talking about I worked at a hotel when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I'd answer phones all day. and I would sit in a chair. It's not like I was physically doing anything, but I was always drained. And I am physically taking care of a 2-year-old all day and going to the park and we're in heat and all this. And I'm not drained like I was when I was with her. I mean, if anything,
Taking care of a 2-year-old is no easy feat.
no, no. They're little dictators themselves. Let's be real.
You just wait when they start ganging up on you.
Oh yeah, there'll be 2 of them eventually. But that's, I would say, yeah. I mean, I swear, if you're gonna try one product, try Edge. Just start with Edge, and then I'm a slow and steady person, so I started with Edge, and then I added the Happy Juice, which is the fundamentals. So even some people, I use the kids fundamentals personally because I am a slow person. I need a low dose. Everyone's different, but that's Edge, I can swear, is something that most people do amazing on and feel great, and that's where I would start. Especially if you're struggling with PCOS. It's going to help that cognitive, that obnoxious brain fog that any women who has thyroid or PCOS or any type of hormonal issue struggles with, but you will see other amazing results happen as you continually take it. And that's what I saw. It was like, this is helping my body way more than just the cognitive function. So, and yeah, my daughter even drinks it. Let's be real.
Yeah.
My whole family drinks it now. I mean,
same.
I got mom on it, siblings on it. You start drinking it, and then everyone else is like, "What are you drinking? What are you sipping on?" So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, thank you.
Sorry,
so
I get
much
excited. I'm like,
thank you for taking time out of your busy day chasing your 2-year-old around to come share, because I think that it is really important. I think that PCOS is something that is really common now, unfortunately. And I do think a lot of that is, in something that you addressed as endocrine disruptors and the chemicals we have in our homes, and just the things that, like, let's be honest, we're the generation who came up on Bath and Body Works. And look at all this stuff that's coming out about Bath and Body Works. It makes sense.
But I mean, if you look at what we ate, what we used, birth control was the number one thing for acne and struggles. No wonder why we're all struggling.
Was the answer for everything.
Yeah. And now we're learning the side effects. We got to be the generation to tell you the side effects. So now we got to correct it. And a lot of that goes through the microbiome. Your body has to be able to detox. I mean, there's so much. Like, I can geek out on all of that stuff. There's so much that we can do to become better. But I'm telling you, starting here, number one, it's the cheapest way to start. Trust me. And number two, it's just going to help you feel better. And then you can make slow other changes in your life, and you'll start making changes because you have the energy to make changes.
That's true. That's true. And you have, yeah, absolutely. I didn't even think about it that way. But thank you so much for sharing and just making everybody aware of all this amazing things that you've learned. So I hope that you have a great afternoon. Get a little nap while you can. And I will chat with you later.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye.